Okay. My name is David Glick, and I was a student at the Gestalt Institute from 74 to 77, and that's how I met Abe. And one of the things we were required to do was to pick a therapist. So I figured, well, there's a guy who looks like Moses, so maybe, maybe that's the guy I should work with. But I also knew that Abe had an extraordinary sense of integrity. And so he was my first therapist, and probably one of the reasons I'm a therapist today is because of Abe. I had a father who was a very decent, caring person, but he suffered from depression, I would say, and was very kind of remote. And so Abe helped me to heal that father wound. And it's an amazing thing to be in therapy with someone who really sees you and takes an interest in you. And he did that. And he was this amazing combination. On the one hand, he seemed very stern at times. And at other times, he was very available and playful and interactive. And so he was a very complex person to be in therapy with. And I remember he often told me, I used to think I was too easy with myself. And he would say, no, 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 you're too hard with yourself. But I often thought that Abe was also too hard with himself. It was just something I always intuited about him. I remember he had a dog who I think was named Albert, if I'm not mistaken, and I
wrote about Albert.
Yeah. And my guess is he was a Portuguese water dog or something. He was black and he had curly hair. And
probably some Portuguese.
Yeah. And I sort of think that was Abe's security blanket. I mean, he loved that dog. And when I started doing therapy, I thought it was permissible for my dog Luke to be in the room, and that again was, I think, Abe's influence. Well, if Moses could do it, then I could do it. And the other thing I particularly remember about Abe is his wit. And it's not like being in therapy with a psychoanalyst. It's like what Barbara said. I mean, he was very approachable. Even sometimes he was stern and he was approachable. He was very complicated. But he also liked to crack jokes. And damn, if he cracked a good joke, he was his best audience. Because he would have a smile of delight, as sort of like he gave himself a high five for a good joke. So those are some of the things I remember fondly about Abe, and I will miss him, and I'm so glad he was a part of my life.